Hi and welcome. So as you already know, Getresponse made a huge interface update, and consequently I felt the need to create a video in relation to that. So first of all, let me show you this. So this is the old interface, this is the old dashboard, and if you've watched a few videos in this course, you know that this is how the old interface used to look like. And this is not even that long ago. This is somewhere around September. And if you look at the changes that have been made, most of them are on the menu here and on the dashboard. So the majority of the changes revolve around the menu items and the dashboard. If you look at all the other elements, most of the things have just remained the same. So that's a good thing. You don't have to feel that you have to relearn Getresponse. No. What is happening is that they've just improved the interface. They have improved the interface, but the way everything else works is the same. Once I go into some of these areas, you'll see that the way to do certain things are just the same. The way to do certain things are just the same as they used to be in the old Getresponse interface. So in the old Getresponse, all these menu items, all these items used to be up here like this. So I just wanted to show you this screenshot of the old Getresponse for those who are completely new to Getresponse. If you're completely new to Getresponse, if you've never used Getresponse before, you've never seen the interface, then it would be confusing for you to follow along in this video. And that is why this update is very, very important to someone like you. So this is how I'm going to do the update. First of all, I will go through this dashboard just to show you what is different here. I'm going to just click on these elements and you're going to see that most of these things are just the same. How to do things are the same. The only things that will be different, the only things that will vary will be how to reach those specific targets. For example, if you want to get to automation, if you want to get to how to create forms, you're going to see that the processes of creating those forms is the same. However, getting there has somewhat changed. So the way I'm going to do this update is this. This is going to be the first video, and then the next video is going to come after you watch the dashboard overview. In the next video, there is a dashboard overview video, which I think is very important for you to watch so that you can get a clear picture of what is happening, what is changing. So I'm going to leave that video after the dashboard overview video. I'm going to do another video just showing you these various elements. So if I come here, now here you'll see that I have the course outline here. So these are all the sections in the course. So this video, I haven't uploaded it yet, but once I upload it, I'm going to upload it after this, and then I will upload another one after this one. So you watch this video so that you can understand the old Getresponse. So the takeaway here is this. Getresponse has made an interface update, and even though that is the case, you shouldn't feel like you have to relearn Getresponse, because most of the things are still the same. And you're going to see that once I start clicking on these different elements, you're going to see that most of the things haven't changed. Most of them are just the same. Like if you want to create an automation, it is just the way I showed you in the automation section. If you want to see how to create forms, you'll see that it's just the same process. The only difference is how to get there. Now you can see even this one, forms and surveys, they have been combined. They used to be different. Now forms and surveys are under the same roof. And then we have this new tool, which is a CRM, is a customer relationship management. Now customer relationship management is a way for businesses to manage customer data. For example, if you have the contacts of your customers and all their information, you use a CRM to manage that data. Those who come in, those who go out, people purchase things from you, you'll use a CRM to manage all of that. Now Getresponse is introducing a CRM. Now this is new. I will see you in the next video. Alright, so in this video, let's see what has been added here. And if you go to automations, you'll find that there are templates, automation templates that have been added for you. So you can drill them down based on these different categories. So if you want a welcome, some welcome emails, this is something that you can use. So let's just click on this one with 8. Let's click on this one with 8 elements already set up in it so that we can see what it has. So this is a welcome email that a welcome series that you'll send when somebody purchases from you for the first time. So this is available in the Pro. You have to upgrade your account to access this feature. So for example, if I click on this, I would need to add this on my site, and I would also need to add this on my site so that the site can get tracked, and this is available in the Pro plan. So you can see this one, configure purchase details, at least so that Getresponse can track it, and then you can assign or remove a tag. So maybe you can tag this person as a buyer. So a buyer may be someone who's already bought from you, so you can give them a tag there, and then you can select a message to send. Okay, so if you go under your automations, there's a place for automation messages, and you can create your message there, and after how long do you want to send it. So you can just go through this and see if it would work for you. If not, then you can just create one from scratch, or you can use any of this. So this is a simple welcome message. You can just click it to have a look at it. Let's see which ones we have here. Let's see which one we have here for affiliate marketing. So here I can see we have scoring affiliate contacts. So let's look at this. So you can see this one. It looks at how people react to your messages. So if you're an affiliate and somebody clicks a link, then you can tag them. So you can assign a tag. If they don't click, if somebody clicks, assign a tag. So if you send a message about a particular link and they click on that link, then you can assign them a tag. Maybe that's something that they are interested in. So you can say, you can actually move them to a new list. If you find that that's something they're interested in, you move them to a new list. And maybe someone else clicked on a different link, then also you assign a different tag. So you can see this could work for you or not, okay? Because it just depends on what you need. So you have to decide how you want to create yours, okay? If you know how you want to track yours, just use the same mechanism I showed you how to create different automations. Use that mechanism to come up with the best automations for your scenarios. Like if someone is an affiliate, if you're an affiliate and you send an email with different links, so maybe you can track one link. You don't just track any link, you track a particular link that is related to a certain interest. So people who click on that link are probably interested in that topic, whatever it is. And people who don't click, maybe you can resend them another message after some days. If they click on something else, you can bring them to another tag. So it's entirely up to you to decide how you want to make your automation. There's no one framework for how you can do it. It's entirely up to you and your goals. So if you know your goals, then you can define how your automation will be. And that's what's important, knowing what your goal is and knowing what you want to track. So I just wanted to bring to your attention the fact that there are certain templates in automations that you can start from, and you can check them out when you're here. Just come and check them out, and you can also come here under automation messages and create as many messages as you want, so that while you're in the automation area, you can send messages easily. Once you create your messages, you can just scroll down to actions, and maybe you'll say send a message, and when you click on send message, you see that you can choose your messages. So you can choose automation. If you had any messages, you could be able to choose them from here, but right now I don't have any. That's why this is blank. So if you come in here, you can create as many messages as you want to based on the automations that you want to set up. There is a section about automation, and you can look at that and you'll see that I covered most of this, and I can see that there's something new about CRM. I saw it up here. So the customer relationship management, if a contact is added to your pipeline, maybe you may want to remove it from a different list where it was previously, or you can move it to a new list entirely, so that you can remove it from that list and put it in a new list where you just deal with leads. These are people who've shown interest in your product. So maybe that's something you can work with if a contact is added to a pipeline. So I can see they've also added some of these e-commerce based automations, and these are in the Pro package. So if you upgrade to the Pro plan, you're going to get access to this. Or you can just use, if you have less than 2,000 subscribers and you're looking for alternatives, you can use MailChimp. MailChimp will give you some of these options for free, like abandoned carts. You can see how you can create them in MailChimp absolutely free, as many as you want to, provided you have less than 2,000 subscribers. That's something that MailChimp has. And then you can also send CRM based actions. So these are actions that you can take. If somebody, maybe you sent a newsletter, and in that newsletter you are tracking a certain link, and somebody clicks that link, then you can add them to your pipeline in your CRM, and you can continue communicating with them based on that particular interest, or you can delete them. You can delete them from a particular stage. So you saw how to work with stages in the video about CRMs. So if you can look at the Getresponse CRM video, and you'll see what stages are. So a stage is basically somebody can join a list. Then after that, you're in the stage of meeting them. You're in a stage of demonstration. Then finally they buy. So if they buy, maybe you want to move them from one stage to another. And I think this is something that you can do automatically with automations, which is really nice. So that's pretty much it for this video. And in the next video, I want to do something that will be a very long video, and I want to show you how you can create landing pages from scratch. So we are going to go into landing pages. I'm going to start creating a landing page. I'm going to choose a template, and then I'm going to delete everything on the template, and we're going to start from scratch so that you can understand how to work with landing pages on Getresponse. So I'll see you in the next video. In this section, let's look at automation. What are automations? Automation is a way for you to create automatic emails based on specific actions and conditions. So here's an example. Let's say somebody subscribes into your email. They subscribe, and then you send them your email. And there are two possibilities with this. They can either open it. If they open the email, so this represents open. You may also want to check, did they click a specific link? Did they click a link in that email? And then if they did, maybe you want to say after 2 days, send them another email to try to get them to buy something that is related to this. And then we also have this side. So this side it was open. This side, let's say they didn't open. They didn't open. So you want to send them an email. Just to ask them, hey, you did not open my last email. So then again, here there are two possibilities. They may open or they may not. So let's say they don't open it. So you may say after specific days, maybe 10 days, send them another email. And then maybe they don't open this one. Then you say, then again, after 30 days, send them another email. And then again, you send them another one after 50 days. And they still don't open. So you may want to remove them from your list. Or if you don't want to remove them, you can move them to another campaign. You may call it inactive. And then now let's say they opened. If they opened, you may want to send them this email, which is here. So this is what automation is like. It can be as simple as you want, or it can be as complex as you want. It can be as simple as 2 steps. Just say something like, if they click a link, maybe add them to a certain campaign. Okay? Or if you don't want to add them into this campaign, you can just send them another email, a follow-up email with this. So it can be as simple as you want or as complicated as you want. So basically, this is what automation is all about in Getresponse. Automation is more about trying to measure the things that you do. Okay? So there's something that is called KPI, that is key performance indicators. So this can help you to measure that. For example, let's say that you add the tracking, the Getresponse tracking on your website. There's a way you can do that, and I will show you how to do that in using goals. So you can set up goals, okay? Such that you say that if people get to a certain link on your website, maybe they get to the checkout page, that is equals to a dollar amount, okay? So in that sense, you can have some kind of a goal, like if they go into that page and buy something, it can be a form of a KPI, a key performance indicator, such that you'll see that you sent the email to 2,000 people. And out of the 2,000 people, only 600 clicked the link. And out of the 600, maybe 10 bought something. So this can be a performance indicator, and it can help you say that out of this is a percentage of people who bought, and this is a percentage of people who buy. Okay, so it can help you to calculate the conversion rate. So that's what automation is about, and in the next couple of videos we're going to learn how you can create basic automations, and I'm going to give you a simple knowledge framework that at least will help you to create your own. So in the next video, we're going to come here under automation, and then we're going to talk about this. So I will see you in the next video. But just a recap, we have said that automation is a way for you to create automated actions, and in general, the automated actions will revolve around you sending a message, or maybe moving people from one campaign to another, or any other actions which are possible under Getresponse automations. So I will see you in the next video. Hi and welcome back. We have started looking at automations in Getresponse. What is a workflow? First of all, a workflow are the actual automations that you create. So these are the processes. For example, in the last video, we looked at a scenario whereby you send an email, and then depending on the action that they take, you're going to do something different. So that would be a workflow. And then under manage workflows, you'd be able to look at the workflows you've created, and if you have to go through them again, edit them, this is where you do that. And then manage messages. So messages are very important. Messages are the actual email messages that you send out. For example, if they don't do what you expect, like they click a certain link, you want to send them a certain message, so you can create those here. So let's go first of all under manage workflows to see what we have. So we haven't created any automations, and this is the first time that I'm coming here, and that's why I have this. You can also watch this tutorial, and then if you're ready to start, you can start your first workflow where you'll be able to go through another basic tutorial, and we're going to see that in a while. The basic and the fundamental features of an automation are conditions, actions, and filters. So conditions are what will trigger an automation. So a condition can be something like a link is clicked, that's a condition. Someone subscribes, that is a condition. Maybe you can create other conditions, and we're going to see the conditions that you can create. So this is what will trigger the automation. And then we have actions. So once the condition has been met, so think of this as an if. The condition has been met, then the action happens. And then the action that can happen is maybe you send them an email, or if you're not sending them an email, maybe you move them to another campaign, or maybe you remove their email from your list. And then filters are like qualifiers. Maybe you can say the first 100 people send this, people who are in a certain region send them this. So filters can be qualifiers, and we're going to see how you can use them. The basic thing to understand about automation is think in terms of programming. If then, if a condition happens here, if we have a condition here, the condition is met, then take a certain action, and then between this condition and this action, you can have a filter. Okay, for example, you can say for people who are in a certain region, do this. For the first 100 people, maybe do this. So as the name suggests, a filter is just a way to filter through between a condition and an action. If a condition is met, you can run it through a filter, and then after you run it through the filter, an action will take place. Of course, this is best seen as an example, and that's why we're going to do a couple of them in the next couple of videos. So you can see here, if you're ready to start, you can just click on start your first workflow, and you'll be able to understand, you'll be able to play around, and you'll see things like this. So the next thing, let me click on manage messages, and we see if we have any message there. So as you can see, we don't have any messages yet. So automation messages, these are messages that will be sent when the actions are met. So you can use them, you can create messages and use them. So do you have anything in a draft? Okay, yeah, so this is one that I added, and you can just create one. Like, let me say that I click create draft. These are messages that you can send out if conditions are met. Maybe someone did not open an email, you want to send them a reminder. Then you just maybe want to tell them, hey, here is a reminder. Then you can click next. And then as usual, you would need to choose a template, and why not? I can just use that. For you, you'd have to create yours with real messages. For example, if it's a reminder, you maybe want to tell someone, hey, I sent you a message about this, and I noticed you didn't open it, but I just wanted to remind you what it was. So it's entirely up to you what message you want to tell them, depending on the action. Maybe they clicked a link, you send them a message, and you want to tell them, hey, I saw you clicked on this link, and I just wanted to tell you that here's another video you can watch that's related
to that. So if it is a message, you can create it and send it depending on the condition and the action you've set up. And just with that, I click on next step, and that will bring us back to these messages. So now that we have all this, in the next video, I'm going to come here and then we're going to click on create a workflow, and we're going to learn more about all that is here. So I'll see you in the next video. Hi and welcome. So let's continue on with automation. So I will come here and I'll click on create a workflow. So before you begin, of course, you may need at least a message. We already have a message. I created a message, and you may also need a landing page. For example, you want to track your landing page. Like if people sign up on your landing page, you may want to track that landing page and create automations based on that landing page. You may also create automations based on a registration form. Maybe people sign up on Facebook or people sign up on your website. You may need to track that. So this is just a basic explainer, and down here you can also come and see automation workflow examples, which will help you to understand this concept better. But I don't want to see this, so I'll just click on got it, don't show again, and then I'll click there. So here I will need to enter the automation workflow. So the first time you start using this, it's going to bring this tutorial for you, and I can just leave it like this. I'm not going to change anything. So let's say I click there. It's going to be a tutorial. The first time you do this, it's going to be a tutorial, and this is an interactive tutorial, and it will just be a way for you to learn how to use the automation tool on Getresponse, because the first time you get to using this and to creating real automation workflows, it may be a little bit confusing, and that is why the first time you come here, it is an interactive tutorial, and you can see it is telling me what to do next. So for example, it's telling me I drag it here, I bring this on with this green marker to just drag it there. So this is basically what you will be doing most of the time. So to make a connection, just follow the green dot. I will bring that to mark it, to connect it. So this is like if someone subscribes, select a message, and then just follow the green dot. So if I want to activate the activity here, like select the message, if I want to choose the message to send them, I will go into properties, and then here under properties, select a message. So we are still in the tutorial, and therefore I'll just choose the one that they're telling me to choose here. And then after that, I go back, just follow the green marker here, and I can go back and select an element. So basically, this is how you will be doing it. So this is someone subscribes, send them a message, and then if they open the message, just drag that one here. If they open a message, then now the next thing, of course, we connect this to that. When any of the attached messages is opened, so, and then we want to say that if they open a message, then we drag something here, and what we are going to drag here is a link was clicked. Okay, so subscribed, sent, a message was sent, and then they open the message, and then so you can see this part and this part. This means that a positive action happened. This means that something that is negative happened. Like in this case, opened a link, this is true, and then this false. So this would mean that if I was to do anything on this end, it would mean that this email that I sent was not opened. So every time you see anything with this green check mark and the X and the red X, it means that there are two possibilities for this activity. These are called conditions. There are two possibilities for these conditions. So the next thing, let me go into property, and here under property, which links do you want to track? So of course, you would also need to tell it which link was clicked when any automation messages link is clicked. So here a specific link was clicked, and then you select the link and then you choose the link. So there's a link you want to track. Maybe you have lots of links in your email, so you want to track a specific link. You'll just choose that link here, and then we'll go back into adding elements. So we can also add a tag. Let's say in this case, these are people who did not open this message. So let's connect this to this, and let's see which tag we can create here. So assign a tag, property. You don't have any tags, create your first tag. Maybe you can give them a tag, none opened, none openers. Let me give them a tag and call them none openers. Okay, these are people who did not open my email. So I can come back here. So you can give them a tag however you want, but in my case, I'm giving them a tag based on what they didn't do and they did not open my message. So I'm giving them the tag of non-openers. Then I can come back here and add elements. So if you follow this interactive tutorial, it can help you learn a lot. Okay, so then again, I can add another tag. And then I can link this to this. So you see, these people, there was a link which was clicked here, and these people did not click that link. So I can also give them a tag, and I can call them non-openers. Now I can create a tag for them. I will give them a different tag, no action. I can even say read, no action. So at least this can help me see that these people read the email, but they did not take any action. They did not click a link. Then I can add that tag. Then let's go back to elements. Let's see which other element we are being guided towards. So here we have amount, filters. So here we are back to filters. So the people who clicked, we'll create a filter for them. Let's go here. So here you can create filters such that you put a filter between a condition, this is a condition, and an action. So the condition was a specific link was clicked, and then we want to create a tag such that after 100 people, let's say 100 people have clicked, the first 100 people have clicked this link, what's going to happen? Let's come back here, and after the first 100 people have clicked, you can wait. So here's an action of wait. Wait for, let's just wait for that 1 day. Wait. So this, what this will do is that after the first 100 subscribers have clicked, we're going to wait a day, and then after we wait 1 day, let's go into properties. So you can see this is becoming a little bit complicated, but the ones that you'll be creating will probably not be this complicated. But I just want to go through this interactive tutorial to the end so that we can see what happens. So let's say we delay for 2 days, and then add an element. Let's come back here. So I'm just following this interactive tutorial. Then we want to send them a message. You see, these people, only the first 100 subscribers. After the first 100 people have clicked, we want to send a message, and I will need to connect this to this. So these are like flow of activities. You just click and drag. Then this one also we can wait for 2 days, and we'll just connect this to send them a message. Click on it there. So I've set up my first automation. After following through with them, I've been able to set up that automation. So if you want to try again and play around with it, you can start over. But in the next one, we're going to create a very simple automation that will be based on a realistic scenario. So let's say that I say save this workflow. So if you want to save your workflow, you'll just come here. You see up here we have this save. You can save it, you can save and exit, and you can save and publish. Okay, so in the next video I want to come back here and just go through this and explain it to you exactly what was happening. So if you have any questions, even now up to here, just let me know. So you see here I didn't add a message. If I want to choose a message, I can just double click. I can double click on this, or I can go to properties. Okay, so if I double click on it, it will take me to properties, and then I can choose a message. So use a message. I can use a message from my newsletters. I can use a message from autoresponders. And since I'm on the trial version, I don't have these A/B tests. So let me say I use a newsletter, then select a message. So all my newsletters will be here, and I can use any of them and resend them. Since this message is not in my automation messages, if I click OK, it will get copied to my automation messages and I can use it there. This has been somewhat a long video because I was following along with the interactive tutorial. So in the next video, I want to go through each of this just to explain them to you, and I'm going to tell you about all this, and you'll be able to understand what all these are. So I'll see you in the next video. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, make sure you let me know. Hi and welcome back. In the last video, you saw me follow this interactive tutorial, and I created this automation based on the interactive tutorial. So from what you can see here, I also did make some mistakes. Like for this one, I didn't choose a message. It clearly tells me to select a message, but I didn't choose a message. So if I wanted to choose a message, I would need to double click on it. Then I come here and I choose a message that I will want to be sent out if somebody subscribes. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to explain these bits, because these are the most important things that will enable you to create any kind of automation that you want. And you can see that some of these have been grayed out because I'm on the free trial. And even when you upgrade, there's a possibility that some of them will not be available in certain packages. So make sure that you know what you want so that you can subscribe to the correct package. Now, as I said, the powering forces of the automations are conditions, actions, and filters. We say that an action is predicated on a condition, meaning that a condition is what will trigger the automation. Like in this case, this is a condition. So the condition here is subscribe. If someone subscribes, then a message will be sent out, and this is an action. So an action is what will happen if a condition is met. So like in this case, subscription is met, so we send a message. So if I double click on this, I can choose a message to send. So I can use a message from a newsletter. I can use a message from one of the automation drafts that I created. I can use a message from an autoresponder. I can use a message from A/B tests. And since I'm on the free trial, I don't have access to this A/B testing. I can also use from automation. Let me say I use draft. Which options do we have here? So you can see these are the draft messages that this is the draft message that I created when we started looking at automation. So I can choose that draft message, or I can choose something from a newsletter. If you can remember, when we were looking at autoresponders, I had a message that was a welcome message. So I can use the same one. And I think it was this one, which was the welcome message. And if I click OK, it will get copied to my automation messages, and that's what we want. So you can choose to run it multiple times. That means that the action will be recurring. So if I come back here into elements, we know what a condition is. It is what will trigger this. We know what an action is. It is what will be triggered. It is what will happen. For example, in this case, some of the actions we have are send message, we have custom field, maybe change a certain custom field, then we have copy to a campaign. Maybe somebody clicked a certain link, you want to copy them to a certain campaign, or someone has not been clicking any links, has not been opening messages, you want to copy them to another campaign, maybe the inactive campaign for inactive subscribers. Or you may want to move them or copy them. If you copy them, they'll remain in the current campaign, but they will also get copied to where you want to copy them to. Then you can copy them to a workflow. Maybe you've created a certain workflow and you want to copy them to that workflow. So these are some actions that can happen. And then we have filters. So under filters, these are what we have. We have amount, range, and all of this, and we are going to see samples. This is not available, but it's a very nice one to have. For example, you can choose based on locations. Like if somebody clicks a message and they're from a certain region, you may want to send them a certain campaign, or you may want to put them in a different campaign. You may take any of these actions. So this dynamic is really nice, even though it has been locked out because I'm on the free trial right now, but it's a very nice one. So coming back to conditions, we have subscribed. You can take a condition of subscribed. If someone is subscribed, do something. Then link clicked. We saw a link was clicked. If a link has been clicked, then we saw message opened. If someone opens a message, you can start an automation. If a special event happened, then you also have custom field changed. Let's say maybe you're running some kind of a meetup group and somebody moves to a different area and they change their location. Okay, let's say that they change their location. You may want to do a certain action like send them another message and tell them, hey, since you're now living in this city, the nearest meetup location for you will be here. So you can do that based on this. Or maybe somebody changes their preference in your list. They used to like something different and they realized that they're allergic to that thing. Now they change that preference. You can move them to a different group, or you can send them a message telling them, hey, thank you for letting us know. So you can send them a message based on the custom field that they change. You can also create automation based on messages sent. So if you send a message, maybe you want to send this message and then follow it through. Like you send the first message, then you send another one, and then you want to send that message and you want to track links which have been clicked. So we also have this if tag. If something happens, do something different. You can come up with so many automations based on this. I mean, you can mix these things and come up with so many different automations. It's entirely up to you, you know. So the video is becoming kind of long and I want to end it here, and then in the next video let's go through this so that we can understand it. Meanwhile, I know you have questions, just let me know and I will see how I can assist you. So in this video, let's track this automation. So what's happening here is this. This is a trigger. As soon as someone subscribes to a campaign, so if I double click on this, I can also choose which specific campaign. If I want this automation to happen for any campaign, then I will leave it at any. But if I want it to happen for a specific campaign, I will say specific campaign, and then I will select the campaign. Maybe that's the campaign. So the subscription method can be through a form, and if I select a form, I would need to select that form. If maybe from a contact import, or it can be from a landing page. So you can track all of this. So let's say it's from a form. Maybe from a form, do I want this to happen for any form, or I want to track a specific form? So it tells me that I don't have any web forms. So let's say maybe from a form, yes, but from any form. So if people subscribe on any of my forms, they will receive a message. So that is a condition. That is an action. So if they subscribe, they'll receive a message. And then when they receive a message, we also want to check, have they opened the message? So I can also click on this to see what options we have. So here we have email was opened. Which message is opened? You want to track any of the messages, or you want to track a specific message. So you see, you can make it a specific message, like let's say newsletter, and I can say a specific message, and then I would be able to choose that message. It's just important to know that you can choose to track a specific email, or you can just choose any newsletter. So you say if you send them this message, and when a newsletter is open, what do you want to do? For the people who opened a newsletter, you want to check if they clicked a link. Let's double click this, and we see the options that we have. Which link clicks do you want to track? So you can track all of this. You can track a newsletter, a link in a newsletter, and you want to track a specific link, or do you want to track any link in this message? So these people opened the message, and then you also want to track if they opened the message and clicked a link. And then there are also these other people. These people did not open my email. Since they did not open my email, I want to watch them closely. Okay, so I give them a tag. I assign them a tag of non-openers. These people who did not open my newsletter, I'm giving them a tag of non-openers. You can create tags and see how you want to track your people. So you see there are two options. You can assign or remove a tag. So in this case, I'm assigning a tag. I'm watching them. Okay, this is just me watching them. You didn't open my newsletter. I'm giving you the tag of non-openers, and then I want to keep tracking them, right? Then maybe after a while, I can give them another action, like send a message. So in here, let me put this here. I can connect this, assign them a tag, and then send them a message. But in here, between me assigning them a tag and sending them a message, I can add. So you can just delete. If you click on this, it will be deleted. You can assign them a time to wait. Give them like a week. Okay? And I want to give them 1 week. I want to give them a week. And then after this week, I want to send them a message just to see, are they going to open this message? There. Then I can select a message to send to them. And then I want to add a condition here, because you remember I've given these guys a tag of non-openers. Then I give them 7 days, just waiting. After 7 days, I send them a message. Then after I send that message, I want to check, did they open this message? If they didn't open this message, now I want to take an action. For people who didn't open my message, let me remove them from my list. Okay, so I will put them here and I will remove them from the list. These guys will be removed from my list. And then I saw something here which was nice, where is that assign a tag. For the people who opened my message, they have redeemed themselves in the eyes of my workflow here. So what I can do is I can assign them a tag. Let me take tag and bring tag here. And if I double click on assign or remove tag, I can come here and remove the tag and non-openers. So these guys have removed them from that. They will no longer have that tag. So it's like they had a grace period of these 7 days. These other guys, I can remove them. This is probably too harsh. You can do something light, like continue sending them a message. You delay for like a month, send them a message, delay for like a month, send them a message. And if they continue not opening, you can remove them from the list. So we took a branch of this side and you saw how we went. Now coming this side, when any newsletter is opened, this guy opened a newsletter and then they clicked a link. I checked if a link was clicked, and you can check if a specific link was clicked, or you can check if any link in the email was clicked. So those people who clicked, I will take them here. You only want to see that the first 100 subscribers have clicked a link. After the first 100 subscribers, we'll assume that the rest of the people, maybe I have like 500 subscribers, I'll assume that the 400 subscribers will not really click any link. So I just continue on with my workflow. So I'll say wait for 2 days. These people did not click a link, wait for 2 days. And after 2 days, you send another message. For these guys, you can maybe send a different message, but in this case, I just sent the same message. So you can create your workflows however you want. Okay, so this workflow is pretty redundant. It doesn't really have any end goals, and you know, for your marketing purposes, you need to have an end goal. So this was an interactive tutorial, and I don't really think it had any end goal. But in your case, of course, you'll have end goals. You'll have objectives, what you're trying to achieve in the end. So you will design your automation based on your objective. So that's it for this video. And if you have any question, just let me know and I will revisit whatever issue you're having. So I'll see you in the next video. Once you're done with your automation workflow, you can decide to come here, save and exit, or save it and publish. So just once again, the most important thing to remember is that all workflows are based upon a condition, an action, and a filter. You see these three: condition, action, filter. A condition is what will trigger the workflow. For example, if someone subscribes, take an action, and then maybe between this condition and action you can have a filter. Like here we have range and amount. Like in our case, there was an example here whereby we had the first 100 subscribers. So once the first 100 people click a certain link, you can do your checks and take the following actions, like waiting for 2 days, and in this case also sending a message. So once you're done with your workflow, you can come and save it. In this case, let me save and exit. But if you want it to start, you have to save it and publish. Okay? once you save it and publish it, it will be set into play, and depending on the actions that you set and the conditions that you set, your workflow will be live. That is when you save it and you publish it. And then down here you can see you have a summary. So you can see this, you can track the events, you can segment your automations, but you can see these are only available to certain packages. So here you can also track your email marketing just to see the clicks, open rates, and all that. And then you can also create tags, basically categories and segmentations for your subscribers to adjust messages and actions. So you can see this is off because I didn't publish it, but I know if I click there on, it will be published. Okay, so it's telling me, I mean, this is really nice. It's even telling me that it can't publish this because there are 2 errors. So maybe there's something I overlooked and I would need to go back and edit it. But I don't really need to use this one. So what I want to do is I want to delete it, and we are going to see simple examples that will enable us to achieve certain goals that we may set for ourselves. So I'll see you in the next videos. Hi and welcome. So in this section we have been looking at automation, and I want us to do 2 different examples before we end this section on automation. So let me explain the examples that we're going to do first, and then we'll get on with working with them. So the first example is, think of a scenario where you want to send follow-up messages. Maybe you're selling something and you want to automate the process. So you will send a message, and then you'll wait some couple of days, and then you check if a link was clicked or not, and then you want to wait a couple of days again and then send another email. And then in the end, maybe you want to put them in a different campaign. So you can start by the first one. You'll send a message, and then maybe you'll wait a few days, and then after those few days you want to check if your message was read. Of course, with this there are 2 possibilities: either it was read or it wasn't read. And then if it was read, you want to check if a link was clicked. So was a link clicked? You want to check that. Maybe this is a link to a video and you want to check the people who clicked that link. That is like a sign they're interested in whatever is in the video. So if they click the link, you want to send them something. Maybe now you want to send them an email that will tell them about a certain product that's related to this link. So those who clicked, and then we also have 2 possibilities: people who did not click. Once you send them this email, you may also want to check and see if they clicked on opened, but now I just want to end it at opened. So for you, you can go as deep as you want. You can even check if once they opened it, they clicked a link. So you want to check if they open if they open this message, and if they open the message, we will move them to a campaign of good fellas. So these are good people. These are valuable subscribers. So we'll move them to a campaign of good fellas. And hopefully when they open this email and they opened this link, they went and they bought something. And then here, going back, so I was moving this side first of all. Now let's look at the other possibilities. When we sent, we waited. Was it read? No, it wasn't read. It wasn't read. We may decide to resend the campaign. And then if we resend this campaign, we also want to check, was it opened? If they opened, we'll send them this campaign. If it was not opened, we can move them to a campaign. We can move them to a different campaign. And then here we also had this. Was it read? Yes. Was a link clicked? Yes. And even if a link wasn't clicked here, they didn't click that link, maybe we also may want to send them another message here. And if we send them this message, we may only want to track people who opened the message. So if they opened, also you'll send them, you may decide to send them this same campaign, and just like that. So you can make it as complicated as you want or as simple as you want. So this is the first one that we are going to create. For the second one, let's say you want to rate your subscribers and put them in specific campaigns. So let's think in terms of, I have 3 campaigns. The first campaign is for good fellas. These are people who take action, people who open and click links. You can create a campaign for unpredictables. These are people, sometimes they do click, sometimes they don't click. And then you may also have one for no action. You send a message, they don't open, they don't click links, so no action. So we're going to create these 3 different campaigns. You can create these 3 different campaigns and call them whatever you want or how you want, but this is just me thinking in terms of what I want to track. So let's say I create a landing page, okay? And on my landing page, I want to check people who subscribe. So the condition is, as soon as somebody subscribes, I will wait, and then I will send them a welcome email. And then you also want to wait and see if this was opened. And of course with this, there are 2 possibilities. So let's go down this tree first, the tree of positive actions. So if they open, you may want to send them, maybe after 10 days, after 20 days, you send another email. And all of this is automated. So once you set this up, it will just continue with the flow. And then you also want to check, did they open it? Okay, did they open this campaign? And if they opened it, maybe you may want to check if they clicked a link or not, but I immediately want to move them to the campaign of good fellas, because these are people who have shown that they take a lot of action, they're engaging with the emails that are sent. So you want to move them to this campaign and they will become valuable subscribers to you. Then on this other end, you also have possibilities of not opened. So the welcome email was not opened. You may decide to send another one. Send or resend, whichever you prefer. And if they click this, maybe you may want to take them back here so that you can send them this message. And if they don't open, you may want to send them a bunch of other messages just to check if they open or they did not open. And maybe in the end, if they don't open, you may want to put them in the no action list. You may want to move them to the no action list, not copy, move to the no action list. And then, so these people who sometimes they open, sometimes they don't open, you may want to move them to unpredictable list. So we're going to create something similar to this. It won't exactly have the same flow, but we are going to mimic something like this. And we are also going to mimic something like this. So for this one, we are going to create these campaigns, and we're also going to create a sample landing page. So I will see you in the next video, and in the next video, we're going to start with this one, whereby you send. Once you send, you want to see if they click, and you keep sending them a bunch of emails. So this is a way for you to maybe automate something that you're selling, and you can sell it in the email. So I'll see you in the next video. Hi and welcome back. So as you can see, I've created 3 new campaigns, that, and that. So to create new campaigns, I showed you that you just come here and you click on create campaign, and to view all your campaigns, you'll just click on campaigns list. And as you already know, campaigns are a way for you to just group things in Getresponse. If you can't see this, if you're on a window where this is not there, you can just go back to the dashboard, and on the dashboard you'll be able to see it as well. So in this video, what we want to do is we want to start working on this campaign, whereby we are going to send an email, and then we're going to wait and see if that email was read. If it was read, we want to see if a link was clicked. If it wasn't read, we want to do something else, and that's how we are going to flow with it. It won't necessarily be the same as this, but it will be close to this. Okay, so let's just come here, and we want to create a new automation. So I'll click on automation and click on create workflow, and then I can give it a name. Let me just call it workflow. Start the process when someone, so the way that I put it here is such that when I send a message, so I want the workflow to begin when a message is sent. Okay, so whenever a message is sent, let's say we want to wait a few days, but here, whenever a message is sent, you have to choose the message. You can choose a message that is sent. If I double click on this, it will bring me to properties, and which messages do you want to track? So if I have a specific message, let's say I want to track a specific message, and I will track a specific message and select that message. So let me just use that. Whenever this message is sent, this first message is sent, and you saw how I created this message. So you can go back and see how I created this newsletter and sent it out. Whenever this is sent, link this, just drag that here to link it to this point, and then I can say wait for 1 day. So whenever I send this message, I want to wait a few days. So I'll double click here on wait, and that will bring me to properties, and you can wait for, or you can wait until. So if you wait until, you will choose the time here, but in this case I want to wait for maybe 5 days, and then after 5 days you will do something. When I come here, we'll do something else. But you can also enable on specific days. So if there are days you don't want this to happen, just uncheck those days. And then I can come back into elements, and here we say we wait for 5 days, and then after 5 days we want to check if this message was opened. I'll double click on this, and newsletter, not just any newsletter, but a specific newsletter, the one that we checked up there, Bizanosa first, this one. So connect that to that. So we'll wait for 5 days, check if the message was opened. And then if this message was opened, we also want to check that a link was clicked. So I don't know if I had any links in that newsletter, but let me just say if a link was clicked in that campaign. So that newsletter, a specific link from a message, this message. So I don't know if I had any links in there. Okay, let me see, choose link. Yeah, I had a link. So I can say if I want to track whether this was clicked, this specific link was clicked, and then down here, this is also very important, when to assume the condition wasn't met. So this means that you'll just assume that after a specific number of days, people who didn't click will not click anything. So that's what this is about. After some time, after 4 days, just assume that people who haven't clicked a link will never click a link, so that this condition will have not been met, and therefore the action that we put here will happen. So I'll come back into elements. So here we have a specific link was clicked, and if these people click this link, that means they're interested. Maybe this was a video, and the fact that they clicked it means that they're interested in that video. So you want to send them another message that will tell them to buy that thing, whatever it is, or you want to tell them something more about that. So you'll send them another message. So if I double click this, I can send them, let's say, a newsletter, one of the messages, and I will send them the second one. So this means that it will get copied into my automation messages. You saw the automation messages and how to create your drafts. Then I will come here, and so you can see I'm still working on the positive actions. They clicked a link, then I send a message. So you see in here, it's also possible to add one of these filters. Okay? I'll just click on it. Let's say maybe a range of 100, as long as people from 100 to 300. And then I want to unlink this, and just double click here to unlink it. And then I want to link that here and link that with this one. So this is just an example. I can even delete this. And then let's try another filter. So a filter is something you can put between an action and a condition. So you see in this filter, we want to say if this condition is met for the first 200 subscribers, do this for the first 200 people who click a link. So only send this. So maybe in this case, you want to say that the first people to click a certain link will get a certain offer. So that offer will be in this email. So you want to say only for the first 200 people, if they click that link, you send them this message. That's where these filters can come in. So at this point, we're going to assume that we're at the end of what we wanted to do. The final thing was to give them this offer so that they can take advantage of it. At this point, you want to move these people. These people have been really good clicking links, opening messages, and you want to move them to the Goodfellas campaign. First of all, you want to check if they opened the message. Let me just do one check here of if they opened this message. Then when any of the attached messages is opened, okay, I'll just leave it like that. When this message is opened, I want them to be moved to a campaign. So I won't copy, I will move to a campaign. Okay, so these are good people. These are people that I want them to be like my top subscribers. So I'll move them to the Goodfellas campaign. So if I double click on this, I can select the campaign that I want to move them to, and I want to move them to Goodfellas campaign. So at this point, we've worked on the positive side. So in the next part, let's go and work on the negative parts to see what options we can have. So I'll see you in the next video. Hi, and welcome back. So in the last video, you saw me create this workflow. And in the end, we decided that we were going to move these people into this campaign. So in this video, let's look at this other side now. These are people who they opened the message. These are people who they clicked a link. Now let's see the people who didn't open and the people who didn't click. I don't want to make it complicated. I want to make it a very simple flow. So if I send this message, wait for 5 days, and you check if the message is opened. So if they don't open the message, what I want to do is I want to wait for 3 days. And then after 3 days, I want to send them another message. So I will choose an action here, send message. And then these guys who did not click this link also, I also want to wait for these 3 days. So it will all come here, wait for 3 days, and then send a message. So I'll select the message to send. I can just choose, if I choose draft, maybe I can send them one of the drafts that I created. And I will send them this reminder. Okay. So you can create all these messages under your automation messages. And then I just want to do one last check. If they opened, I want to send them the same one I sent these guys. If they don't open, I will move them to another campaign. I want to check if they open the message. So I'll come into conditions, message opened. There we go. Connect it. And then if they opened, I want to send them this message. If they open, send them that message and they'll continue in this workflow. So for people who don't open, I want to move them into a campaign. So move to campaign. These people who didn't open, I will move them into select campaign, and I will move them into the no action campaign. They didn't take any action. So that's pretty much it. So if you're following along with me, you can just go through it. You can just go through it to see how the workflow is. Okay. Now I will save this. Let me say I save and publish, and we'll see if there are any errors. Getresponse will tell us that there are errors. Like you see, there are errors here. Let's see. And then you can see in this case, I need to decide on an autoresponder cycle. So I can decide custom day. Here you can send them something. So this is like they have subscribed to a new contact campaign in your list, and therefore you have to decide, do you want to send them something after 2 days? You want to put them on a campaign, or you can just say, I don't want to add them to any cycle, just let it be. And then let me see about this. Select cycle day, and then I can say don't add to cycle as well. And now let me try to publish. Save and publish. So if I come here to manage workflows, down here you see you can also create workflows, you can manage your workflows, you can go to the dashboard. So there you see my workflow is on, and you can do the same thing to try and automate your marketing. So in the next video, we are going to follow subscribers, and in the end we want to put them either in an unpredictable list, we want to put them in the no action list, or we want to put them in the good fellas list. So that's it for this video. Now in the next one, we are going to start by creating a landing page. Okay, so I will see you then. Hello. So in the last video, we created our first automation workflow. In this video, we want to work towards the process of creating the second one. And in the second one, what we decided was that we want to follow our subscribers. They subscribed on our landing page. They subscribed on the landing page, and then we follow their activity. We send them a welcome email. Then we want to see if they opened it. If they open it, we want to send them something else. And then if they open it, we want to put them in this Goodfellas campaign. Okay, so this is like a way for you to try and rate your subscribers by their activities. You want to rate them based on their activities. If they don't open, you want to put them in the no action list. And if sometimes they open and sometimes they don't open, you can put them in the unpredictable list. So one thing that I have to tell you is that I'm going to create very few messages, okay? So for you, if this was a realistic scenario for you, you would have to create very many messages, many different messages, and then maybe put them through a period of 6 months. Maybe you send some after 10 days, you send another one after 20 days, you send another one after 30 days, until you get to 6 months. And then by the end of that 6 months, you have created a funnel whereby you've just been reducing the number. So by the end of the 6 months, you will have been creating a funnel where you'll be reducing the number, slowly by slowly reducing the number until you get to a number that you consider to be Goodfellas, and you put them in your Goodfellas campaign. And then you'll also have maybe a group of small people here who will be in the unpredictable campaign. And then maybe you will also have a third group of people who never took any action from the day they downloaded the free thing you're giving away. Maybe it was a free ebook, it was a free video, it was a free course. They never took any action. So you'll take them and put them in the no action list. So you can build something like this and just create lots of messages, going through, checking, did they do something? If they didn't do what you wanted, you just keep doing that until in the end you end up with a list of people that you can put in these different campaigns. So the first thing I want to do is I want to start by creating a landing page, a simple landing page, and it will just be a sample landing page. So I'll click on create landing page, and what you need to understand is that landing pages will be available for you in the free trial, and as soon as your free trial ends, you can get access to landing pages by upgrading your account to the pro package. I don't want to start from scratch. I'll just take something here, take one of this design. I'm not even going to edit it because you know how to edit things in Getresponse now. I can just use this template. So there is our template. We can edit it. You can edit the various elements of this template. So if you want to change the text, you can change the text. Just click on it and you can change all these elements about the text. This is a phone number. If you want to change this, also click on it. And you can change whatever you want about it. If you want to change the font, you can change the font. So of course I don't want to change much about this form, but let's say I want to move this up, and this, I can just delete that and add a form here. So you can also add fields, name, email, if you have other fields. Maybe this is a long registration, so you're trying to get more information from people. You can just add other fields if you want to. Okay. But I will undo that. There we go. If you want to add a favicon so that when people go to this link, they see your favicon, you can come into settings, and here you can also add the title for SEO purposes, you can add a small description, and you can add a favicon, upload a favicon, and then you can also upload an image. If you know HTML, you can edit some HTML elements about your landing page. And down here, there are also other elements. So all of this, you can just click on them and edit them. You can replace an image. You can edit the image like I showed you earlier on. Maybe you want to make this black and white. You can just come here and edit it. And then click Effects. And you make it black and white. Then Apply. And then Save. And that will change this to black and white. So if you want to edit all of this, just click on it. You can double click on this, and then you'll have this. Change the font. Then you can change the text. Alright. If you want to add any of these other elements, you can just drag them in there. You can drag elements in there. So it's almost the same as the other editor. You see, we still have our PayPal here. You can click on it. You remember our PayPal integration. So this is an easy way for you to create a landing page, and you can see it's a very powerful and a very easy way for you to create the landing page. And let's say after you're done with everything, you can just save and exit, or you can go to the next step. And before I do that, you can see also here we have a thank you page, right? So once people subscribe or do whichever activity you have set on your thank you page, for example, once they sign up, you can have this thank you page, and this will load for them. And you can also edit this as much as you want to with your own details. So I'll just go to the next step. And then you give it a title. I can call it First Landing. Then you can give it a description. So this will be the title of your page, and at least make it SEO friendly, okay? And then the description, this will appear in search engines. And then if you don't want this to be indexed, you can just click no index, and Google will crawl it, but it will not get indexed. You can see the link is already taken. So I can call mine First Landing 2017. This will be the link to my Getresponse, okay? And then you can also assign your own domain. If you haven't added a domain, let me click on, I can just click there to see the alternative that you have. You can add your own domain. And then you can publish on Facebook. If you connect, mine is already connected to Facebook, so I can just turn it on, okay? And I choose a page right there. So you can choose a campaign. Of course, I don't want it in the no action campaign. I can put it in new students. Or you can create a new campaign and then come and select it here. Then confirmed opt-in. You want to make sure that people really want to be in your list. So they'll need to go into their email addresses and click on confirm subscription, an email they'll receive from Getresponse, and then you can add them into a cycle on day 0. Okay, so as soon as they subscribe, you can add them into a cycle, and you saw me create an autoresponder. So as soon as they subscribe, the autoresponders that I created will go into effect. Or if you don't want them to be in any of those autoresponders, you'll just uncheck that. Then you can create a thank you page if you have a custom thank you page, or you can stay on the current page. So you can see these are just self-explanatory things. And then you can also set up analytics and remarketing. So if you click here, it will give you the capability to connect your account with Google Analytics. Just add your Google Analytics ID right there, and it will help you. You can also connect it with any of these other guys, Kissmetrics, all of this, Bing Ads, any other thing. Just put in your ID there. You can also track the AdWords, conversion ID. All of this you can get from your Google AdWords account if you're maybe doing a marketing for this page. and you want to track it, you can add the Google AdWords ID right there. And after you've set up all the settings, all the settings, we can publish it. We can publish this. There we go. It's published and now it's live. I can share this link on social media. I can share this link in my email campaigns. You can create another landing page. You can view the landing page online. That's what I've just done. Click there, and then you can manage your landing pages if you have others. So as I said, the landing page, this landing page feature is available for you in the free trial for 30 days, and then after that you'd need to upgrade. You'd need to upgrade to the Pro package, and that will give you that. And then under this you can see here's our landing page. So you can easily create landing pages with Getresponse. So I didn't edit anything. The only thing I did was add this form, and if I click sign up, you see the form works by default. So if I try to add an email, let me say, okay, the email field is this one right here. So if I try to add that email, sign up, let's see what happens. It will take us to the thank you page, and I didn't edit anything. Okay, so all of this, you'd need to edit all of this. So if I go to my email, I will receive an email requesting me to confirm my subscription to these guys, whoever they are. Okay, so you can create your own landing pages in a similar way. Just choose one of the themes, or you can start from scratch and build your own from scratch. And in the end, you'll share the link and people will be able to sign up. So that's it for this video. In this video, the only thing we were interested in was creating a simple landing page, and I didn't edit the landing page in any way, but you need to edit yours. If you're building yours for a real product or for a real branding or for a real marketing purpose, you'd need to edit yours, and then you can share this link anywhere you go. So the reason we created that was because we were going to create a flow for these guys. As soon as somebody subscribes on our landing page, we want to send them a welcome email, and then we want to see if they open that email, and then we want to do a bunch of these other things, and then in the end we want to group them such that we'll put some of them in this Goodfellas campaign. These are people who have been very active. These are people who are proactive. They click on your links, they read your messages, and then you want to put others in the unpredictable list. These are people who sometimes they open, sometimes they don't open. And then we also have the no action guys. These are people who they didn't open anything. Maybe in my landing page here, I gave out a free thing. Maybe here I'm telling you, hey, sign up and you'll get a free course. So all they wanted was a free course, and they didn't do anything after that. So in the next video, what we are going to do is we are going to see how we can create a simple automation based on subscribers who subscribe on our landing page. So I will see you in the next video. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, make sure you let me know, and you can go to Getresponse and try out these landing pages. Create your landing pages just to learn, and in the end you'll be very good in creating your own landing pages. So I will see you in the next video. Hi and welcome back. So in the last video we said that in this video we are going to create a simple automation that will help us to group our subscribers based on how we perceive them in terms of the activities that they have taken since joining our list. So here we have different campaigns. The first campaign that we have is the Goodfellas campaign, and then we also have the Unpredictables. They click some links, sometimes they don't click, sometimes they don't open. And then we also have the no action list. These are people who they didn't do anything from the very first time they subscribed. Every time you've sent them a message, they didn't open, they didn't click, they didn't do anything. So we want to create a simple workflow such that from the moment they subscribe, you subscribe. And this is going to be very simple. It may sound complicated, but it's very simple because we are going to only use two kinds of activities: wait, send, wait, send. So subscriber, wait X number of days and then send them a message. And then after you send this message, maybe it's a welcome message, you want to check. Maybe you'll wait again, or you can just check as soon as possible. Did they open? If they did open, you want to maybe send them another message. If they did not open, you want to give them another chance, wait a certain number of days, and then send another message. And then in the end, down here, maybe there are people who have just been on the negative end of things. They don't open, they don't click links. So those people who've been on the positive side of things for us, we are going to put them into our good fellas list. And then people who maybe sometimes they open, sometimes they didn't open, we will put them in the unpredictables list. For those people who never open anything, never click any links, we are going to put them in the no action list. So this is what we are going to create. Okay, we are going to come here into messages, automation, and we are going to create our workflow. So I will see you in the next video. I just wanted to show you what we are going to do so that you can get ready for it psychologically. So I'll see you in the next video. Hi and welcome back. So we said that in this video we are going to create our automation based on this landing page. So if you want to build your landing pages, you can go back and see the step-by-step how you can do that, so that you can end up here with a landing page link that you can share with your audience. Now we are going to go into the automation and we want to create a workflow. So I'll just come here and I can click on create a workflow. But it's also important to note that you may need to create your messages in advance. Okay, so the messages that you want to be sent out to your subscribers within your workflow, you can create those messages in advance. Actually, you should create those messages in advance. So our workflow was such that somebody subscribes on our landing page and then we send them messages, and in the end we want to group them and we want to move them to various campaigns. Okay, so if I come here and the first thing I want to do, I'll just click on create a workflow. So here you can give your workflow a name, and I will call mine landing page flow. And then how do you want to start the process? So you can choose how you want to start the process, but it's also important to note that you can change this in the next step. So even if I click any of them, I can just change it in the next step. Okay, yeah, like let me say I say opens a message, but that's not how I want to start this one. From what I've told you, I want to start this based on subscribed. Okay, so let me drag this on this end and I want to say subscribed. Then I'll double click this and select the campaign subscribed via specific, and I want to select it was subscribed via, so, and they subscribed through a landing page and a specific landing page, and our landing page was this landing page. This is our first landing page that we've just created. As soon as they sign up via the landing page, let's go back into elements and we want to wait. You know what? Let's just send them a message immediately. And as soon as they subscribe, we're going to take an action of send message. So just link that with that, then select the message. So you need to have these messages well in advance. You can create them as drafts under automation messages. So here, I don't really care which messages I am sending because this is not a real workflow. So I can just choose any of this, but for you, you'd have to know the message that you're sending out to your subscribers. So this may be a welcome message, welcoming them into your list. After we select a message that we want to send to them, we want to check if they open that message. Let's give them like a day. Okay, so we're going to wait for a day. So something is up with this. Let me see what's up. So I want it to be a newsletter, and then I'll just choose this one and then copy it into my messages, and there we go. Everything is fine now. So after this, we also want to wait. Once we send them this message, let's wait for like 4 days. And then after 4 days, what do you want to do? We want to check if they opened. Okay, let's check if the message was opened. So I'll use message opened. I will link this to this, and it will check if this message was opened. If they open this message, we want to wait a few days. Now, if they open this message, we want to immediately check if they clicked this link. If they clicked a link in there. So I'll put this on this end, and I will connect that like that. So this will check if they clicked a link. Let me double click on it, and so this will check for like 3 days. After 3 days, we want to assume that any person who hasn't clicked a link will not be clicking that link. So after they open the link, we want to send them another message. So let's go with the positive side first. We want to send them another message. Maybe this was a video or a PDF that was of interest to them. So you want to send them a follow-up message. You want to send them a follow-up message just to tell them more about that. And then I will connect that, and I will select the message that I want to send. Maybe let's just say it's under those automation, and we want to send them that message. So make sure you give your messages names that are easy for you to remember, so that you can know how to use them within your workflow. So right now we are going on the positive end of things. So let's come back here. Okay, so here we know we've been able to send these guys a message. Here we know when any of the messages is opened. We want to give these guys another chance, and we are going to send them another message. Okay, let's wait. Actually, let's wait for like let's wait for 3 days. Wait for 3 days, and then you're going to send them another message. We just want to see if they'll open that message. So we wait for 3 days, we send them another message. So you can give your messages names that you can remember. I'll just use maybe that message, and then send this message to them, and then I want to check if they opened. Let's check if they opened this message. So did they open our message that we sent to them? If they didn't open this message, what do we want to do? If they didn't open this message that we sent to them, we'll do something else. If they opened it, if they open this message, you know what? Let's just take them back into our workflow, and we'll continue with them from there. And if they didn't open, if these guys didn't open, we want to wait. You know what? Let's just wait. Let's give them another. You can wait as long as you want, but let's say I want to wait for like 3 months. Okay, I want to wait for days. 3 months, that's 90 days. So I'll wait for 90 days. Okay, and then these people who did not click this link also, I will just send them this message. Who did not click this link, let me just put them together with these guys so that they didn't open the link. No, this cannot be the same people, because at least they opened the message, so we cannot put them in the same category. We cannot put them in the same category. So these guys were there, and for these guys, let's put them together with, since they didn't open the link, they're probably not interested in that. So for them, we can send them a different message. For them, we can send them a different message, and I'll just send them this message. You can also wait a few days before you send them this message, and choose the message you want to send to them. And I'm just using any messages here. So for you, you'd have to know the message that you want to send to them. So you'd have to plan. You know, the most important thing with this thing is planning. So you'll send them a message, and you also want to check if they opened the message opened. So I will add this here. So did they open this message? You can also put in a wait in between here. Just come here and add a wait. You want to wait maybe a few days to see how long, after how long. You want to wait maybe 30 days before you send them, before you check if they've opened the message. And then if they open this message, you know what? You want to say these are good guys. So you'll bring them back into this workflow. And if they don't open the message still, just say you want to wait another 90 days. And then after this 90 days, you want to check if the message was opened. So you just keep giving them time. These are like grace periods, right? And then finally you just decide, you know what, let me just add these guys into, so these are good guys. Okay, so send a message reminder, and for these guys, let's say we want to see that after this message was opened, after we send them this message, let's see if they opened it. Did they open it? And I've skipped a wait in between here, but you know how to add that. So you can add a wait, maybe wait for like 30 days to see if they'll open it, wait for like a week to see if they'll open it. And if they open it, you want to put them into, and if they open the message, this message that you sent, you want to put them into the Goodfellas campaign. So you'll come here and choose an action, and the action we want to put them in is move. You can choose to copy to a campaign or move to a campaign, but I want to move them into this campaign. Okay, so these guys have been good to me. They've been opening links, they've been clicking messages. So if I select, I want to select the campaign, just double click on this to open a campaign, and I want to put them to the Goodfellas campaign. Okay, so these are like my valued subscribers because they take action. And then I also want to add an element here, and I want to add, there are certain people that I want to add into another campaign too. I want to move these guys. Now the people here, you see, they've been good to me as well. They've been opening messages. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So for them, I also want to move them to another campaign. And for them, I want to put them in the unpredictables. You don't know where they'll fall, right? You put them in the unpredictables. They're also good people. Okay, and then for people who open the messages here, they also belong to unpredictables because at first they didn't open, but then they were able to open. I want to add the other people who didn't open anything from the very first day. You know, they've just been on the negative side of this. So these people, I want to move them to the no action campaign. So I will move them to the no action campaign. Move to the no action campaign. That's alternative one. You can move them to the no action campaign, or you can even add an action here. And if you see here, you see this remove contact. You know what? You don't have to remove their contacts immediately. Give them one more chance, right? So let's say we wait another, let's wait for another, double click that, and we wait for another just 30 days, right? and then after 30 days we want to send them a message. Message, send, come down to actions here and send them a message. So we'll send them a message, and after that we want to check if they open that message. Message sent, message opened. Scroll. So let me select a message first. Double click this. We can select a message, and maybe it's a different message. You can just choose one of your messages. And send that message to them. And then maybe here you may also add a wait. Okay, so you may add a wait to check if a message was if they opened the message, but I'm not going to add any wait. I just want to check if the message was opened. Let me see, message was opened. There we go. And if they don't open this message, if this guys, let me drag this one down because I want to use it for this one as well. So if they open the message, good, I will add them to unpredictables. If they don't open the message this time round, I'll just say, you know what, I tried my best, nothing really worked, so I'll just come down here and I will add remove contact. So this can be a way for you to clean your list. So if I went a little bit fast, it's because I wanted to cover everything in this one video. I didn't want to divide it up. Just go through the video once again, and I'm sure the second time around you're going to get the flow of things. So here I can see this is, let me see. Okay, now if I try to save this, I'm still going to get some errors, but let me just try and publish it and see where the errors are. Save and publish, and you see we weren't able to save because there are certain errors. So let's start with this one. Of course, for these guys I don't want to add them into any workflow. So if I double click, where to remove contacts from, current campaign and workflow, of course. And then for these ones, what's the error? Decide about an autoresponder. So once I move them to this campaign, I need to decide, do I need to add them to the autoresponder? And of course I don't want to add them into any autoresponder. And then here, let's see what's the issue. Decide about an autoresponder. Okay, so double click that. You're starting to get the pattern. Once you move subscribers into a new campaign, you need to decide whether they're going to be given a cycle that they should join an autoresponder cycle or not. In this case, of course, I don't want to add them. Even these guys, I don't want to add them into any because I've been with them for a while, so probably I've sent them a couple of emails. So I'll say don't add to cycle. Are there any up here? There are no errors up here. So you can just rewatch this video and you'll be able to get a flow of things much better. So if I come back and I save and publish once again, this time round you'll see that everything works fine, and you'll see that our workflow is in play. So this means that every time somebody signs up into our landing page, we are going to go through processes of trickling down until we get to a point whereby we can say a subscriber is good for our list, or a subscriber should be taken to a different campaign based on the actions that they've taken throughout the process. So you can set yours for as long as you want. Okay, you can keep doing this. You can create this workflow to go through an entire year. Okay, this can be a full year, just you deciding on actions to take with subscribers from the moment they subscribe. So this is why it's called marketing automation, because you can automate this process. You can just sit down, plan out how you want your automation to be, and then go through the entire process for a whole year, create the messages, and in the end you'll be able to group your subscribers based on how much activity they've taken. So you can say the good fellas have been really good to you, clicking links and opening your messages. You can have these unpredictables. These are people who sometimes they open, sometimes they don't open. Then you can have the no action list, who in the end you may decide to completely remove from your list. So this has been a long video, but I'm sure by now, if you had any doubts about how to work with automation, you are in a position whereby you can just sit down, plan your automation and follow through with it and build it until it works. So if I come back here into manage workflows, let's look at the automation that we were able to create. So these are the automations that we created. This is the one we've just created, and this is the one where we created in a couple of, this is one which we created some videos ago. So you can just play around with your automations and come up with your own. Okay, so you see this says that ends never. Okay, so this is one which will always work. Every time you get a new subscriber, they go through this cycle. Every time you get a new subscriber, you take them through a cycle to find out whether they are good for your list or they belong to a different category in your list. So I will see you in the next video, and in the next video, let's come back here. Let's come here into statistics so that you can see what we have under here. So meanwhile, if you have any questions about automation, just ask them in the question and answer section or in the discussion section below. So I will see you in the next video.